This is a Success Zone production. Everyone Has a Story. Produced by Dr. Paula Lewis. Elisha Clarke III and Laureen Higgs were a 5-year difference in age as they grew up in the Episcopal Church. As years passed and attending church as adults, they met at a wedding that was directed by Laureen. And from there, a relationship blossomed. They were both educators when they met. Elisha was an advanced history teacher and Laureen was a speech and language pathologist. Laurence Paul Clarke was born on April 27, 2000 at Memorial West Hospital in Miramar, Florida. The year 2000 was the start of the new millennium. This was a time Faith Hill was popular and hit the top U.S. charts as the most popular song. The St. Louis Rams defeated the Tennessee Titans 23-16 to win Super Bowl 34 in Atlanta at the Georgia Dome. The New York Yankees defeated the New York Mets in 5 games in the 2000 World Series. The U.S. population topped 282 million and the world population increased to a little more than 6 billion, and Venus Williams defeated Lindsay Davenport for her first championship at Wimbledon. It was an amazing year to be born. Laurence would be a miracle baby born prior to multiple miscarriages. Elisha, his brother, was 6 years old when Laurence was born. Between the ages of 1.5 and 2 years old, Laurence would not sleep in his room. He slept between Elisha and Laureen when he went to sleep. However, he would get up in the middle of the night and exhibit unusual behavior. For example, he would be moving around and doing unusual movements and kicking his legs up in the air as he slept. You can tell it was something that was unnatural and indescribable that he was doing. Laureen thought it was night terrors that Laurence was experiencing during this time. He would get up and exhibit aggressive behavior. Elisha and Laureen decided to take him to a psychiatrist to address these behaviors. He was a pre-kindergartner receiving early intervention services. Thus, Laurence's parents met with a psychiatrist at the beginning that attempted to implement a Freudian approach and was not familiar with pediatric psychiatry. Unfortunately, this psychiatrist prescribed a medication that increased Laurence's erratic behavior more. Laurence's mother decided to research other options and discovered the Center for Autism and Related Disorders program, known as CARD. They provided resources and this is how Laureen discovered the Nicholas Children's Hospital. Once they were connected with the outpatient program, things took a turn in a positive direction in addressing the behaviors. They started with family and individual therapy for Laurence, which was provided by Dr. David Coe. This involved medication provided by Dr. Americo Padillo, which consisted of medication for behavior as well as addressing sleep apnea. Due to sleep apnea that occurs with many students on the autism spectrum, the sleep apnea interferes with them having a good night's sleep in order to function properly the next day in school. Sleep apnea tends to trigger negative behavior. Being that he was receiving exceptional student education services with an eligibility of other health impaired, Yolanda Lockhart, school psychologist, at Carey P. Meek K-8 Center, suggested a psychoeducational evaluation due to suspicions of autism. Laurence was evaluated by the district autism specialist that revealed he met eligibility for autism as well as a specific learning disability. Because of the behavior, Laurence's parents felt the autism placement would benefit him academically. He was able to be mainstreamed from the autism cluster to math, which was his strong area, and other various classes that were considered general education classes. This meant that the behaviors were controllable to be eligible to be mainstreamed. But also he had general education teachers that were exceptional in working with students with special needs. At age 4, Elisha and Laureen recognized Laurence's interest and love for cooking. His interest began as a reward, which was integrated into his behavioral plan as a positive reinforcer to decrease negative behavior. His behavioral chart was visible on the refrigerator and was implemented between home and school. Laurence was responsive as this intervention served to extinguish inappropriate behavior. A culinary interest developed which piqued his interest in reading. This in turn increased his reading comprehension skills. The cooking aspect they started to focus on when Elisha and Laureen discovered Laurence was a struggling reader. They participated in a Dan Marino autism walk and connected with a family that was attending as well. Laureen noticed that this family's son was making chocolate using a variety of molds. They learned that this family created a business out of their son's interest, which they kept this idea in mind for the future. Laurence had the opportunity to participate with a program called Common Thread. This program was available at his school, Carey P. Meek/Westview K-8 Center. Common Thread is a national nonprofit organization that inspires communities to embrace healthy cooking, healthy eating, and the celebration of culture by providing children, families and educators with hands-on cooking and nutrition education classes. He was able to continue on with the Common Thread program offered at Miami-Dade Community College. Laurence's journey to success was paved by a lengthy path, yet it was a result of robust collaboration within the community, utilizing multiple available resources. In addition, Elisha and Laureen ensured that the services that met Laurence's needs were available and accessible to accommodate Laurence's changing needs effectively. Their advocacy on behalf of their son continued through high school and through his post-secondary education. Vocational rehabilitation services were engaged in high school to acquire a network of community support. This included career exploration counseling, post-secondary educational counseling, and other services that supported his path to graduating with an Associate of Science in Culinary Management. Continued individualized education plan accommodations were supported as he matriculated through Miami-Dade Community College. Laurence's parents' unwavering determination guaranteed their son's access to education. He also had his family and church community that supported Laurence in his journey. Laurence has that entrepreneurial spirit. His startup business, Laurence's Specialty Soups, has become a weekly request due to the delicious gourmet soups he prepares. He averages 40 to 50 customers per week. After graduation, Laurence landed a prep cook position with the Riverside Hotel in Las Olas, Florida. Laurence is 23 years old now and is a successful young man that will continue to thrive and build his culinary career. He acknowledges the challenges he experienced and is passionate about helping others who may have similar issues in school as well as others individuals that are on the spectrum. Laurence is very independent, maintains his own bank account, and he maintains his own bills. He lives with his brother Elisha.
I'm Laurence Paul Clarke, and this is my story.